If I asked you what you want out of life, you would probably say, I just want to be happy. It sounds like a reasonable goal. It is what our parents want for us. It is what every commercial sells us. But there is a paradox that nobody talks about. The people who try the hardest to be happy, the ones reading all the self-help books, forcing positive affirmations, and obsessing over their mental state, are usually the most miserable. This isn't an accident. It is a psychological mechanism. In Zen philosophy, this is known as the backwards law. The idea is simple, but terrifying. The desire for a positive experience is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of a negative experience is a positive experience. For the next 5 minutes, I am going to show you why your pursuit of happiness is actually the thing destroying it. And I'm going to give you the 3 steps to actually finding peace by stopping the chase completely. First, we need to look at the hardware. You assume your brain is designed to make you happy. That is false. Your brain is designed to keep you alive long enough to reproduce. That's it. Evolution doesn't care if you are fulfilled. It cares if you are anxious enough to avoid tigers and hungry enough to find food. This leads us to the hedonic treadmill. Psychologists Brickman and Campbell coined this term in the 1970s. It explains why getting that promotion, buying that car, or hitting 100,000 subscribers feels amazing for about 48 hours. Your brain quickly normalizes the new reality. It resets your baseline. Why? Because if you were permanently satisfied, you would stop hunting. You would stop building. You would die. So when you set happiness as a goal, like a destination you arrive at, you are fighting millions of years of biology. You are chasing a horizon. You walk toward it, and it moves away. The answer isn't to run faster toward the horizon. It is to realize you are walking on a treadmill and step off. The philosopher Alan Watts used to describe this with a metaphor about water. If you try to grab water with your fist, it slips through your fingers. But if you cup your hands gently, if you relax your grip, the water stays. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the concentration camps, wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, "Happiness cannot be pursued. It must ensue. It must be the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself." Think about it. When you wake up and ask yourself, "Am I happy, Toddy?" you immediately trigger unhappiness, because you are comparing your current reality to a hypothetical fantasy where you feel better. The gap between where you are and where you think you should be is where suffering lives. So, how do we close that gap? We don't close it by running. We close it by removing the requirement to be happy. Here is your first action step. It sounds counterintuitive. If we want to feel good, shouldn't we visualize good things? No. That creates expectation. And unmet expectation is the root of anger. The Stoics practiced premeditatio mal or the premeditation of evils. Most of your misery comes from rejecting the present moment because it isn't perfect. You are stuck in traffic thinking, "I shouldn't be here." You are bored at work, thinking, "I should be doing something passionate." You are arguing with reality, and reality always wins. Instead of trying to be happy, practice radical acceptance. When you feel anxious, don't say, "I need to stop being anxious." That is just adding a second layer of judgment. Just say, "I am anxious right now," and that is okay. By allowing the negative emotion to exist, you remove its power. You stop the feedback loop. We often confuse happiness with pleasure. Pleasure is passive. Eating pizza, watching Netflix, scrolling social media. This spikes dopamine, but it leaves you empty. What you are actually looking for is flow. Researcher Mihai Csikszentmihalyi found that the most satisfying moments in human life are not when we are relaxing. They are when we are stretching our mind or body to its limits to accomplish something difficult. In a flow state, You forget you exist. You lose your ego. You lose your sense of time. And ironically, that is when you are happiest. Not because you are feeling happy, but because you are too busy to ask the question. If you want to escape the misery of your own mind, stop trying to relax your way into happiness. Pick a problem, a difficult one, and get to work. Finally, we have the trap of maximization. In the modern world, we think that to be happy, we must make the perfect choice, the perfect partner, the perfect career. But research shows that maximizers, people who try to make the best possible choice, are consistently less happy than satisficers. People who make a choice that is good enough and move on. Give yourself permission to have an average day. Give yourself permission to do a B- workout. When you lower the bar for what constitutes a good life, you inadvertently trip over it every single day. So, here is the bottom line. Stop working so hard to be happy. Stop checking your emotional temperature every hour. Happiness is not a place you go. It is a manner of traveling. If you found this helpful, you might like my other video on why working hard keeps you poor. Click here to watch it. And remember, stop chasing. Start living.